The warning came on a Tuesday morning when the Vorten Armada dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. 300 warships, each the size of a small city, hung in the darkness like predators circling prey. Commander Vex stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Dominion, and studied the blue-green planet on his display. Earth, the third rock from an unremarkable yellow star, home to a species that had barely touched its own moon with primitive rockets. "Send the standard message," Vex ordered, his 6 fingers drumming against the command console. "Give them 24 hours to surrender." His communications officer transmitted the ultimatum that had worked on 47 worlds before this one. Kneel before the Vorten Empire, accept occupation, and live as servants. The alternative was annihilation. The response came back in less than an hour. 3 words in the human language, translated automatically. "Come and take it." Vex's scaled face twisted into what passed for a smile among his kind. Defiance. Every primitive species showed it at first. They always broke eventually. "How quaint," he said. "They think courage matters." What Vex did not know was that humanity had been preparing for this day since the first. Radio telescopes detected organized signals from beyond the stars. While the Vortens had conquered world after world with overwhelming technology, Earth had watched, studied, learned in a bunker beneath the mountains of North America. Admiral Cole stood before a holographic display of the solar system. The Vorten fleet glowed red at the system's edge. Scattered throughout the asteroid belt, hidden in the dark, dozens of green markers represented humanity's answer. "They think we're primitives," Cole said to his officers. "Let them keep thinking that for another few hours." The Titan Defense Initiative had taken 30 years to build. Shipyards hidden in hollowed-out asteroids. Weapons foundries on the dark side of the moon. A fleet constructed in absolute secrecy, funded by every nation on Earth, built by the best minds humanity could produce. Not elegant ships. Not beautiful. But deadly. Captain James checked his harness aboard the Defiant, one of Earth's new destroyers. Around him, his crew ran final system checks. The ship had no fancy shields like the Vortens. No energy weapons that bent physics. Just thick armor, powerful engines, and railguns that could throw solid metal at a fraction of light speed. "Simple machines for simple apes," James muttered, repeating what alien propaganda had called humanity. "Let's show them what simple apes can do." The Vorten scout ships entered Mars orbit 18 hours after the ultimatum. 6 sleek vessels, their energy shields glowing faintly blue. They moved with the casual confidence of apex predators, and missile batteries hidden in the Martian. Polar ice caps fired simultaneously. Hundreds of warheads, crude by Vorten standards, but guided by quantum computers and traveling at velocities that gave the scouts less than 3 seconds to react. The shields held for the first dozen impacts. Then they flickered, failed. The remaining missiles tore through hull plating like paper. All 6 scouts died in fire and silence. On the Dominion, Vex watched the tactical display in disbelief. Impossible. Their technology is centuries behind ours. "Perhaps our intelligence was wrong, Commander," his tactical officer suggested carefully. Vex slammed his fist down. "It does not matter. We have 300 ships. They have what? A few dozen satellites? We advance. Full speed. Crush them before they can mount more resistance." The Vorten Armada moved inward, past Jupiter, past the asteroid belt. They maintained formation, shields at maximum, weapons charged. By the time they reached lunar orbit, every sensor was active, scanning for threats. The moon itself attacked first. Railgun satellites, hidden in craters and disguised as mining equipment, opened fire. No warning. No energy buildup to detect. Just solid tungsten rods accelerated to impossible speeds. Kinetic energy cared nothing for shields designed to deflect plasma and lasers. Physics was physics. Mass times velocity equaled holes punched through Vorten warships. 20 ships died in the first salvo. Then 30 more as Earth's orbital defenses came online. The beautiful formation shattered into chaos. Return fire. Vex screamed. Destroy everything in orbit. The Vorten ships unleashed their plasma cannons, vaporizing satellites and defense platforms. But for every human weapon destroyed, 3 more emerged from hiding. Earth had built redundancy into every system, learning from every war humanity had ever fought. Then the asteroid belt came alive. Dozens of ships, painted black to hide against the void, ignited their engines. The Titan fleet dropped their camouflage and burned toward the battle at full thrust. Each ship carried enough firepower to level a city. Each captain had orders to win or die. Trying. Captain James stood at the helm of the Defiant as they entered weapons range. All batteries target the flagship. Concentrate fire on their command deck. They still outnumber us 3-1, Captain, his weapons officer said. Then we make every shot count, James replied. Fire. The human ships moved like sharks, fast and aggressive. They didn't fight like the Vortens expected. No formation. No honor. They swarmed and attacked weak points, using the orbital debris as cover, coordinating strikes with ruthless precision. Commander Vex felt something he had not experienced in decades: fear. These humans fought like they had nothing to lose. Because they didn't. This was their home. Their families lived on that blue planet below. They would burn the entire fleet before they surrendered. Send for reinforcements, Vex ordered, his voice tight. All available ships from the nearest garrison. Commander, that will take weeks. Do it. Vex roared. These PRIM IDIVs ... They're not primitives at all. Admiral Cole watched the battle unfold from his command center. The Vortens were breaking. Not beaten yet, but shaken. Their arrogance had become their weakness. Prepare the final gambit, Cole said quietly. If they bring reinforcements, we'll show them what desperation really looks like. Above Earth, the battle raged. Ships exploded in silent fury. Debris rained through the atmosphere like falling stars. And humanity, the species that had clawed its way up from caves to reach the stars, proved one simple truth: never underestimate the will to survive. Asterisk. The battle had been raging for 6 hours when the Vorten reinforcements arrived. 80 fresh warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, their weapons already charging. Commander Vex felt relief wash over him as he watched the new fleet take formation. Now we show these animals the true power of the Empire, Vex declared. He had lost 90 ships already, more than any battle in his career. But with reinforcements, the numbers favored him again. Nearly 300 Vorten vessels against perhaps 60 human ships. Captain James saw the new arrivals on his tactical display. The Defiant had taken damage, her hull scarred by plasma fire, but she still flew. Around him, the human fleet regrouped, pulling back toward Earth's orbit. They think we're retreating, James said to his crew. Good, let them think that. Admiral Cole had been counting on reinforcements. The Vortens were predictable that way. Overwhelming force had won them an empire. They always brought more ships when challenged, which meant they would cluster together, confident in their numbers. Activate the network, Cole ordered. All stations full power. Hidden throughout Earth's orbit, disguised as destroyed satellites and space debris, thousands of devices came online simultaneously. Not weapons, transmitters, each one broadcasting a specific frequency designed to interfere with Vorten shield harmonics. The research had taken years. Captured technology from early scout encounters. Trial and error. But humanity had learned the Vorten weakness. Their shields worked on a synchronized frequency across the entire fleet, efficient, elegant, and exploitable. The Vorten shields flickered, wavered, then collapsed across 2/3 of the fleet. What is happening? Vex shouted, watching his tactical display turn from confident blue to vulnerable red. Restore shields immediately. We cannot, Commander, his chief engineer reported. Some kind of interference. We need to recalibrate every ship individually. It will take hours. Hours they did not have. The human fleet turned and attacked like wolves sensing wounded prey. The Defiant led the charge, her railguns hammering exposed Vorten hulls. Other human ships followed, targeting engines and weapon systems with surgical precision. This was not the desperate defense of earlier. This was hunting. Captain Ross commanded the Vengeance, a heavy cruiser that had been holding back in reserve. Now she pushed her engines to maximum, closing on a Vorten carrier that was trying to launch fighter craft. Ram them, Ross ordered calmly. Her crew stared at her. Captain? You heard me. Collision course. Evacuate all non-essential crew to escape pods. We're taking that carrier with us. The Vengeance was already damaged beyond repair, but she could still move, still fight. The crew understood. In war, sometimes the ship itself became the weapon, the carrier's desperate point defense. Fire tore chunks from the Vengeance as she accelerated. Ross stayed at her post, guiding her ship true. At the last moment, she whispered, "For Earth." The collision split both ships apart in a fireball visible from the planet's surface. Commander, Vex watched his fleet dying. The humans were using tactics no civilized species employed. Ramming attacks. Suicide runs. Ships that detonated their own reactors to take Vorten vessels with them. This was not war. This was madness. But it was working. Fall back, Vex ordered, his voice hollow. All ships, retreat to jump distance. We cannot win this. His tactical officer hesitated. Commander, if we retreat, the Empire will question your... I would rather face questions than face extinction, Vex snapped. These humans do not fight to win. They fight to make us lose. There is a difference. The surviving Vorten ships broke formation and ran. Humanity's fleet pursued, harrying them all the way to the edge of the system. By the time the Vortens jumped to faster than light, they had lost over 200 ships. Earth had lost 30-7. Captain James stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the last Vorten ship vanish into the stars. Around him, his crew erupted in cheers. But James felt only exhaustion. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. Admiral Cole addressed the fleet from Earth. Well done. All ships, return to base for repairs and resupply. This is not finished. The Vortens will tell their empire what happened here. Others will come. But Cole was smiling, because the message would spread across the galaxy. Earth had defended itself. Humanity had bled the mighty Vorten Empire and sent them running. On the homeworld of the Vorten Empire, the High Council received Commander Vex's report in stunned silence. A species they had dismissed as primitive had defeated their armada using simple weapons and impossible tactics. What do we do? One council member asked. The eldest counselor, who had lived through the conquest of 40 worlds, spoke carefully. We do what we should have done first. We learn about them, study them, and we do not underestimate them again. Should we launch another attack? No, the elder said firmly. We send diplomats. These humans are dangerous. Too dangerous to fight unless we must. Perhaps dangerous enough to make allies instead of enemies. Back on Earth, the celebrations lasted for days. Every city, every nation united in victory. But in the command bunker, Admiral Cole studied star charts with his senior staff. "They will come back eventually," Cole said. "Maybe not the Vortons, but someone will test us again. Then we keep building," Captain James replied. "We keep preparing. We make sure the next empire knows what the Vortons learned." "And what is that?" Cole asked. James smiled grimly. "That humanity is not prey. We are the species that hunted predators to extinction on our own world. We are the apes that learned to throw rocks at the sky. And now we throw railgun slugs at empires." Cole nodded slowly. The galaxy wanted to know what makes humans special. Now they know. We are the species too stubborn to quit, too creative to predict, too dangerous to ignore. In the weeks that followed, other alien civilizations received word of Earth's victory. Some were impressed. Some were frightened. But all of them understood one thing clearly. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they had arrived fighting. The Vorton Empire sent no more warships. Instead, they sent ambassadors requesting a peace treaty. Other species followed. Trade agreements, technology exchanges, mutual defense pacts. The galaxy's powers suddenly wanted to be friends with the species they had dismissed as primitive. Admiral Cole met with the first Vorton ambassador in a neutral space station. The alien bowed respectfully, something Vortons never did for conquered species. "Your people fought well," the ambassador said. "We underestimated you. It will not happen again." "See that it does not," Cole replied. "Earth offers peace to all who offer it in return. But to those who threaten us," he smiled coldly, "we will show them what we showed you." The ambassador understood. Earth was not asking for a place at the galactic table. Earth was taking it. And anyone who objected would face the same fury that had broken the Vorton. Armadas. Humanity had learned the galaxy's most important lesson. Respect was not given freely. It was earned. In fire, in battle, in the willingness to fight when others expected surrender. The aliens had underestimated Earth. They would never make that mistake again. Asterisk